how extraordinary outcomes can arise by working together. That is why, as Balkan cities, we are ready to take part in this team play, because we have shared goals. Our first goal is to work for sustainable development, democracy, and peace in the Balkans. We wish to contribute to the vision for the future of Europe. We know we cannot succeed if we do not act together with the whole world against climate change. We wish to widen the scope of democratic, transparent, and inclusive perspective of governance based on science and common sense in our cities. So, how can we achieve these shared goals? Of course, by establishing dialogue. We will strengthen the bond between us day by day. We will work together in every possible area, including economy, culture, technology, and tourism. We will share with one another wise solutions and result-oriented practices that we have come up with for our cities. We will gather frequently. We will develop new and fruitful areas of cooperation. The road ahead is long, but we know very well what our destination is. And we believe that with these steps taken towards more stable and stronger Balkan cities, we will get closer to a better future and a more livable world.
Gentlemen, esteemed mayors, distinguished guests from around the Balkan region, esteemed participants from the international institutions and organizations, distinguished guests and esteemed members of the press. Welcome to the very first meeting of B40 Balkan Cities Network. My name is Duygu Demirdağ and it's my privilege to host this network. We are so happy to have you here in our beautiful Istanbul. And personally, I'm also really proud to join you as I have Balkan roots on my family. My family is partially from Balkans. That's why today I tie my martenichka. I know that many of you know what's the meaning of it. Until now, we shared traditions, history, and a great heritage together. But today, from now on, we will also design our future together. Today, we welcome 23 mayors from 11 countries. That's why I'd like to welcome you all on your own language. I know that this part's gonna be tricky, so at first, sorry for my mispronunciation, but Pershendetje mirazerdet, zdravo dobrodošli, zdravajte dobrodošli, jasas kalos irtate, zdravo dobre dojdovte, buna bine ativenit. Hello, welcome ve merhaba, hoş geldiniz efendim. The motto of B40 Network, kicking off in Istanbul today, is better cooperation, better future. Within this framework, we hope that B40 Network will contribute to strengthen the bonds amongst the Balkan cities in cultural, political, economic and social areas so that we have a better, greener and hopefully more democratic future altogether. Today's program starts with the speech of Mayor of Istanbul, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu. After that, the participating mayors will take the floor alphabetically. We kindly ask the esteemed mayors to please limit their speeches to a maximum of 5 minutes in order to run the program smoothly. We will have more time to discuss our issues that we care. Our mayors can give their speeches either in English or in their native languages. In either case, we have simultaneous translation during the event. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to leave the floor to Honorable Mayor of Istanbul, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu, to give his speech.
Thank you very much, distinguished mayors, friends, distinguished representatives of the international institutions, dear guests. Welcome to Istanbul for the first meeting of the B40 Balkan Cities Network. I'm very happy to host here today the distinguished mayors and their delegations coming from 23 Balkan cities from 11 countries. This meeting is a union we have been dreaming for a while now. First of all, I would like to thank you all for being here in Istanbul and helping us realize this dream. Today, we are making a historical start all together. If we can manage to sustain this union in the future, we can build an inspiring model not just for the Balkans, but for all Europe and the world. The common language of the meeting is English, but we are providing simultaneous interpretation for each Balkan language so that mayors can choose between speaking in their native language or in English. I also deliver the next part of my speech in my native language in Turkish. Please wear your headphones to listen me and other mayors that will take the floor after me in the language of your choices.
Distinguished mayors, I would like to start with paying sympathy for the lives that we have lost last week in a bus accident in Bulgaria. This was a tragic event. There may be borders between us, but we are very close to each other in times of happiness and sadness. Bulgaria, Northern Macedonia, or Turkey. Anyone who lost their relatives, I would like to share my sympathy with you. We are here as 24 Balkan municipalities to create a new foundation for cooperation and to develop a new vision for the future of our cities. For tens of years, Balkans or Balkanization has been a word in international literature denoting the disputes of borders, ethnic differences, or conflicts. However, today we are gathered for starting a brand new page for our region. We are here for a stronger cooperation and for building a better future together. The distinguished mayors who participate in this meeting will not just serve their own cities today, but at the same time, for the democratic future of Balkans in Europe, they are paying a great service. As local governments, we're faced with a variety of environment and climate issues, refugee crisis, energy management, and a desire for a more advanced democracy. These are vital matters that go beyond the borders of countries. They're global issues and problems. We all know that in Istanbul, in Sarıyer, when there is a forest fire, those in Athens, Albania, coastal line, in the Aegean, will also suffer from forest fires. We know that Istanbul is suffering the problems of unorganized migration. In Mytilene, in Sarajevo, in Zagreb, there are similar problems. So The solution of these major problems will be possible through regional cooperation and solidarity. That's why we are gathered here today. Within this framework, we recommend this as a strong regional initiative, and we shaped the B40 Balkan Cities Network with you. So we will be taking the first step to further extend this network today. A while ago, my dear friend Kostas Bakayanis visited Istanbul, and I visited Athens a few months later, and we had a very productive meeting. Similarly, in summer months, my dear friend from Tirana, the mayor Eryon Velia, came to Istanbul. We had the chance to meet. In Sarajevo, as soon as he was elected as the mayor, my dear friend Benjamin Akaric visited Istanbul. He visited me, and that was a very beneficial meeting again. In the coming term, we will have similar meetings with other mayors. We hope to get together to build bridges of friendship between our cities. This will be very valuable for all of us. B40 network will serve all Balkan cities to get together and be represented on an equal and friendly platform. In order to reach our common goals, it will be an important platform. I wholeheartedly believe that. B40 Balkan Cities Network will enable better cooperation opportunities through local governments. It will contribute regionally to the European values of the Balkans. It will help discuss best practices regarding urban planning, and it will help establish a better future together. When it comes to the immigrant refugee crisis or COVID-19, it will enable solidarity with such major problems. It will enable peace and brotherhood between our societies. Those are the goals of this event. Based on this belief, I am very honored to be the founding municipality and the first host of B40 Balkan Cities Network. The sun rises from the east. This is a simple fact. And similarly, Europe starts from Istanbul and the Balkan region. European Union represents a multinational, multi-identity, a pluralistic democracy model. This is an ideal for us all. Human rights, rule of law, a compromising culture, and freedoms are common goals for the millions of people who live in our cities. And these common goals build the foundation of the B40 network. I believe that this B40 network that we started today will also bring about peace and democracy among Balkan cities. It will be such a network of pluralism, gender equality, rule of law and justice. These are vital for countries, and it is as vital for the local governments as well. I also believe that B40 Balkan Cities Network will be home to cooperation between our municipalities, and it will help build the institutional capacity of our mayors and increase our service potential. Throughout these 2 days, we will be meeting in parallel with the mayor meetings. There will be sessions under 4 different headings. There will be very important technical meetings. From Balkan cities, together with the mayors, we have distinguished bureaucrats and consultants who are visiting. We invite all our teams to watch these sessions particularly. Today, at 2 o'clock, we have a session to discuss what kind of mechanism could be established between our cities and what we need to focus on. we will exchange opinions on those issues. Distinguished friends, distinguished mayors, I believe in the synergy of the Balkans. I believe in the organizational skill that the Balkan cities will exhibit because we have a multicultural structure, a diverse human resources, and dynamism in the Balkan region. And these have played a role in building the game in the Balkan regions. The founder of the Republic of Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, was the son of the Balkans. He is a great role model for us and for our country. With regard to the organization of this summit, we had support from chief consulates and also in the support of technical meetings. EBRD was very supportive. The Union of Sustainable Cities and the Oxford University representatives were very helpful. And also in the Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality, I would like to thank all my colleagues who exerted efforts for the organization of this event. I hope that we will get to know each other better for the next 2 days, build personal and institutional friendships. We have initiated a very important platform today. I hope that it's going to be much stronger and more valuable. And let's act together so that all the Balkan municipalities join in B40. Let's fight together so that they are all part of the B40 Balkan Cities Network. There may be mayor friends in your countries, there may be colleagues in other countries. Please encourage them to join this network. I truly desire that we do so. The B40 Balkan Cities Network will contribute to cooperation for further development of the region. I hope that it's going to be an inspiring beginning. I would like to welcome you once again to our beautiful city of Istanbul and extend my cordial greetings to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much for of Istanbul, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu. Dear guests, now I would like to continue to give the floor to our esteemed mayors, as I told before, in an alphabetic order. For this very first round of today, we will have 5 minutes that you can also check on your screens for the timer. Later on, we will have more time to discuss the issues. Now I would like to begin with the esteemed mayor of Athens, Mr. Kostas Bakoyannis. The floor is yours, sir.
Dear brothers and sisters in our Balkan family, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to be in beautiful Istanbul on this special occasion, and I would like to thank my dear friend Ekrem for taking this initiative and bringing us all together. And of course, I would like to express the horror of the people of Athens for the terrible accident and the loss of life in Bulgaria, especially of young children. Our prayers go out to their families. Now, this summit marks a new beginning, and it's a unique forum in which we can bring out the best in ourselves as people and as cities. A network whose time has come, or to be frank, a network that was actually long overdue. After all, our common home, the Balkans, was once known as history's cauldron, and we have endured centuries and centuries of bitter ethnic, religious, and ideological conflict up to recent times. And yet, many of us, especially on a local level, are moving rapidly to disown that label for the sake of our own peoples and the new Europe that we are building. And yes, my friends, Europe is the key. The European vision has successfully tied former enemies together in strong bonds of shared interests and values. The European Union has actually made the first half of the last century look even more distant than it is. Now, of course, I realize that there are those who question if not outwardly challenge Europe. They're usually authoritarians, populists, kleptocrats who don't want light to shine on their darkness. And they take advantage of us, to a certain extent, justified disillusionment, disappointment, and cynicism amongst all our peoples when it comes to Europe. Because there is no need to hide behind the bush. Disagreements amongst member states has led Europe to drag its feet over the past decade. Promises were made, but promises were not kept, promises were broken. I will put it to you, however, that Europe is the future, and that those who bet against Europe do so at their political peril. It's not just that Europe is a living organism that evolves and grows, learning from its history. It's more than that. For most countries that have joined, and for those that are actually lining up, the prospect of membership has acted as a great stimulant for democratic change. It has encouraged and supported governments in the long road towards an open democracy with respect for human rights, diversity, minorities, a democracy that encourages differences of opinion and accepts criticism of government policies. It is in this light, and in the light of today's challenges, from public health to climate crisis, and from social justice to digital transition, that we Greeks have strongly supported the integration of the whole of the region in one European family. And the fact that Greek cities are so very well represented in this meeting, I think attests to our commitment. And it is why Athens would be absolutely privileged to host next year's summit. Here is what we tell our European partners. It's actually very, very simple. If we are to have peace and prosperity in our continent, European integration cannot be fragmented. We believe that the new Europe that is going to be born will be richer, stronger, and more enduring if it includes the Balkan, a region that should be transformed from Europe's backyard to Europe's front yard. And make no mistake, cities can actually be the engines for the European vision. We are, after all, the closest democratic institution to our citizens, and we can translate and reflect our people's genuine sentiments and feelings. We share positive political agendas that transcend borders. If nation-states are tankers that move slowly, cities are speedboats that open to new horizons. So, my friends, the condition for peace is not money by which men can be bought, nor force by which men can be compelled, wrote the teacher and philosopher Isocrates thousands of years ago. It is the all-conquering power of good will. And as we all know, if there is a will, there is a way. That is our way, the way of the cities, the way of the future. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Bakoyan. It's so nice to hear that Athens is also keen to host the network next year. So thank you so much. Now, I would like to continue with Belgrade's esteemed Mayor Zoran Radojicic. The floor is yours, sir.
Poštovani domaćine, gradonačelniče Ekrem Imamoglu, dragi.
First of all, I would like to greet all of my dear colleagues, Mr. Imamoğlu and all other colleagues. And I would like to also send out my greetings to all the cities represented at this meeting. I am honored to be here at this summit today, and I would like to take this opportunity to offer my condolences to everyone who lost their loved ones in the accident that took place in Bulgaria. And once again, I would like to state that I'm very happy to be here today. We have common problems that we are facing, and I am pretty sure you are all going to be referring to globalization and the pressures it is creating, the pandemic, the climate change issue, the political diversity across the world, and the pressures created by daily lives are all common problems that we share. Yes, we use many terms to define all this, and we all have our different stories. But when I talk to each one of you, I know that we all have a common goal, and we want to create something tangible for our cities and our citizens. So what can we do today? If we are truly sincere, we can really share our experiences around significant issues today. And we have all acquired great experience in different areas. And also, a very important duty we have is to build good communication between our citizens, because if we can actually exchange experiences around sports and culture and all other activities, well, that creates the foundation of our friendship. So I believe it is very important that we are gathering here today. And this crisis in the world today is creating a burden for all of us, but it also creates an opportunity, because we are able to seize opportunities to create better cities for the future. During the corona, Belgrade, as an example, became more familiar with the digital world, the internet, and we all managed to fight this pandemic more efficiently through digitalization. And we could share our experience about our investments in this area. Especially in terms of investments, there are a lot of great incentives taking place, and we can share our experience around this and around creating a better quality life for our citizens. Once again, I would like to thank our host, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu, for creating this idea and bringing us here all together. And I would like to wish you peace and peaceful days in your cities, and I hope it will be a very successful summit. Thank you.
So thank dearest Mayor Zoran Radojocic. Creating cities for better future is one of the main themes of this network. So we will talk more about this. Now we would like to continue with the Mayor of Constanta, with Mr. Ionit Rusu.
Thank you very much. Stimate domnule Ekrem İmamoğlu, primar al orașului Istanbul, stimați și dragi colegi, excelențele voastre. Din orașul Constanța, polul urban cel mai important.
From Constanța, one of the greatest cities of the Black Sea and one of the sister cities of Istanbul, I would like to greet you all with respect on behalf of our municipality, and with the initiative created by Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, we are creating this Balkan Cities Network, and we truly support this, and we believe that it is a very accurate decision to be building such a network between local governments. The city of Constanta is in the Black Sea region and in the Balkans, and we are talking about the two very important parts of Europe, and we are always ready to support this initiative. Now here, it is a great opportunity, I believe, to create a collaboration for the future and develop implementations. And I also believe that these opportunities will be beneficial for adding new countries to the European Union. The city of Constanta is a city that implements all the implementations across Europe, and just like Budapest and Athens, for example, which are members of the European Union, we are also willing to share information about implementing EU policies, and we would like to provide assistance in this area. Undoubtedly, this new network will also offer many benefits in terms of Turkey's accession to the European Union. And I believe we will create a robust network across all the cities here, including those that are a member to the EU and those that are not. And Constanta is not just a ordinary city. It has ports, and it is the door that opens to Europe. And it has connections to many countries, and it is also a border of the NATO. And geostrategically, in the Black Sea region, our city is very significant, and in the B40 network, we commit to playing an important role. The EU and the Euro-Atlantic visions are what we will be discussing here, and the countries in the Balkan region adopting the EU policies is important, and it is part of Romania's strategy to support such adoption. And also with the agreement between Romania and Turkey, it's been a decade since we have had this agreement, and Romania is an important partner for Turkey. And also our mayor, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu, in 2022, together with a delegation of Constanta. We would love to host you in Constanta, and we would be honored to host you at our home city. Of course, this invitation goes out to each and every one of you. The southern capital of Romania, a developing city, a European city, Constanța. We expect to see you all in our city. And I would like to greet all of the participating municipalities, the cities, and hopefully in the upcoming years we will be able to have a summit that we host in our city as well.
We also thank esteemed Mayor for their speech and for their invitation. We would like to be in Constanța hopefully next year. And now we will continue with the Mayor of Durrës. But I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, it's a really nice privilege to host women mayor. We like to see more women in charge. So it's my pleasure to give the floor to Ms. Emiliana Sacco, Mayor of Durrës.
Honorable Mayor of Istanbul, honorable guests participating to this summit, first of all, let me express my thanks for your invitation to this regional summit, which main focus is to establish the permanent network of the Balkan cities in order to strengthen the collaboration among our cities. Secondly, allow me to express my full gratitude for the unconditional help of the Turkish state after the strong earthquake that hit Albania, especially in the city of Durrës. I would like to express my gratitude starting from the professional rescue squads who saved lives and the concrete assistance with the construction of 500 apartments in Kurbin. The 2 years we left behind were the most difficult years of our city. But despite the disaster, our city is being rebuilt and regaining its greatness in the history and the value that it carries. Returning back to the focus of the summit, Durrës is the largest port city in Albania with a population over the 330,000 inhabitants. After the change of the territorial administration, we have quite 300 kilometers square and a coastline of 61 kilometers. Durrës is one of the most developed and important cities in Albania, with natural resources, beautiful tourist attractions, cultural heritage, underwater ecology, and a unique history. It is located in the western part of Albania, 33 kilometers from Tirana. The economy of tourism is oriented toward light industry, agritourism, and our tourism is considered one of the largest of the local economy in Durrës, which each is significantly increasing during the last years with an estimation of 400,000 entrants per year. The municipality of Durrës also aims to really support the enterprises operating in the tourism sector by encouraging them even more to provide quality tourism services or products which have direct impact into the growth of the local economy. Also, in our judgment, it's very important to give priority to sustainability of tourism, a clean environment, and a good management, a solid waste in the territory municipality of Durrës. In the suburban area, an existing dump site of urban waste located in this area has been closed and transformed into an eco park, which is the first example in Albania. Also, our municipality has the priority not only to find alternative solutions for the solid waste management, but also to raise civic awareness to environmental protection for a cleaner, healthier, and safer for the citizens and the tourists of Durrës. The last, but not the least, focus of our city is youth empowerment through the institutionalization of the role of the youth and the local governance. Finally, I could conclude that this summit must serve as an open opportunity for all our cities to establish and strengthen regional collaboration in the area of common interests such as economy, tourism, culture, environmental, climate change, innovation, and youth. Many thanks for your attendance here.
We also thank you, Mayor Sako. Now we would like to continue with Mayor of Edirne, with Mr. Recep Gürkan, with whom I made many interviews as journalist. The floor is yours, sir.
Today we are witnessing a historical moment, I would like to say. As a child of the Balkans, as someone who was born and raised in the Balkans, who comes from the Balkans, from his roots, as a citizen and as a mayor, it is a very important event for me. And of course, the mayor of the Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu, took the first step in organizing this meeting. I would like to congratulate him wholeheartedly, and I would like to applaud all of our mayors who are attending this event. We may not be aware of it right now, but in the future, one day, this event will be marked in history, and it will be referred to as an important contribution in the development of the Balkans. Our children and grandchildren will always remember this event respectfully. Now, Mr. Bakoyannis stated something very important. He said, "My brothers and sisters." This is a very valuable word. It is a very sincere term to be used. All nations living in the Balkans are protecting their identities, yes, but they are also brothers and sisters. They are stakeholders. They are friends on this journey in good and bad days, because this geography is the home of many cultures, many ethnicities, many religions, and it is very important. The whole world is watching this geography, and in the past, there have been many efforts to prevent this geography from uniting. And for that reason, we are making a historical step today. We are creating a perspective for the future, and I believe this will be recorded in history for this reason. Now, undoubtedly, of course, it is very important to initiate such unity, but it is also very important to sustain it. Now, in the opening speech of the mayor, with equal representation and with an equal voice of everyone, we can see that everyone is stating that they want to maintain this partnership, this collaboration. I would like to give you a tangible example. Now, Edirne is the city in Turkey which is located on the western side. We are neighboring Greece and Bulgaria. It is only 3 kilometers to go to Greece from my city. We usually go for dinner. Bulgaria is only 17 kilometers away, and again, sometimes we visit them and they visit us. And just this morning I got the most recent numbers. In 2021, when we look at the customs in Edirne, there were 1 million Bulgarians who came to Edirne, and from Greece we had more than 150,000 visitors. So I'm not going to ask what is it that could unite us, because we are already in unity. I'm going to ask what could separate us, and only we can separate us. But with local governments who are directly representing the people, coming together on this platform, you can call it a network, you can call it a union, it doesn't matter. But believe me, all these citizens that we represent deserve a more just life, a better life. And I believe this network will enable this. And I hope next year we will walk this road all together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Recep Gürkan. So nice to hear this word that nothing can separate us or nothing can break us. So I feel really familiar with our next mayor who will take the floor in a minute, because half of the city population where I grew up in Turkey is from Kırcaali. In any international contests, we always on the side for Kırcaali. So it's really nice to again repeat, nothing can separate us. We all united once again. Now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Hasan Aziz, Mayor of Kırcaali.
Sayın Istanbul
Distinguished Mayor of Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality,
господа от побратимените ни балкански държави, първо бих искал да изразя моето задоволство от това да бъда представител на моята страна България.
First of all, I would like to state that I am very happy to attend this meeting, dear Mr. İmamoğlu and all mayors, and as a representative of a local government, and as the deputy president of the Municipalities Union in our country, I would like to state that I really support this initiative. Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu initiated this initiative, and I believe local governments will have a great role in realizing the Green Deal. And other than that, as stated by Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu and all other mayors, I also would like to offer my condolences to the close ones of those that were lost in the accident in northern Macedonia. And I am very happy to be side by side with all of you. Edirne and Tekirdağ are our sister cities, and their mayors are also here today. That also makes me very happy. And also in Greece and in Romania, we have sister cities, and it is very nice to be together with all of you and hearing your opinions. And I hope this B40 network soon will create closer relations between all of us. And other than that, I would like to offer 2 invitations. I am representing the National Municipalities Union as well as the deputy president, and I would like to state a desire of Bulgaria. We are looking forward to hosting one of the next B40 meetings in Sofia. And Mr. Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, we would love to see you in Kardzali as soon as possible as well.
Çok teşekkür ediyoruz Sayın Hasan Aziz'e. Kardzali, Mr. Hasan Aziz. Now we will also hear more messages that Balkan people are inseparable, because this time we have another city from Turkey, Kırklareli. Mayor Mehmet Kesimoğlu, the floor is yours, sir.
Teşekkür ediyorum. Değerli katılımcılar.
Thank you very much, distinguished participants. I greet you all with great respect and feelings of friendship. While in weather forecasts in Turkey, well, it is said that the cold weather will dominate Turkey, coming from the Balkans, but I see today that the weather, the atmosphere inside is very warm. I would like this to continue all the time. I would like to thank all of the mayors for their contributions. I would like to extend my gratitude to them. We are going to spend great 2 days together. We are going to exchange ideas and we're going to learn from each other. We're going to learn a lot from one another. It is for the first time that such a summit is held, and I would like to thank our host, Mayor of Istanbul, Ekrem İmamoğlu, for his great hospitality, for his sincere approach, as it has always been the case. I would like to say that I brought the love and respect from Kırklareli, from the land of love. While Kırklareli shares borders with Bulgaria, it has 80,000 people in the center, but the total population is at 360,000. We also have a coastline to the Black Sea. We are all stakeholders of the Balkans. In addition to our guests, the mayors here, I believe that today is a meaningful day. Konstantin Zervas, the mayor of Saloniki, is here with us as a son of a family who migrated from Thessaloniki. I feel myself very privileged. Our province is the land of happy people. It's the cradle of democracy, human rights, solidarity, sharing, love, and respect. In this city, we experience all of these to the fullest. Well, for us, identity does not matter. The background does not matter. Ethnic background, race, language do not matter at all for us. Well, we say that with arithmetic investment and with geometric happiness, we benefit from the intersection of these. And I feel very happy to be residing in this city. While our city used to be called the city of 40 churches, Lozengrad was the former name, the city of grape. We produced wine with our Bulgarian friends and also hardeli, a special drink in our city, because we have shared historical background. We share the same geography, the same history, the same feelings. And the past is past now. We should look into the future. And so we follow the words of the founder of the Republic of Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, peace, at home, peace in the world. So we set up the Ali Reza Bey Cultural House in Kırklareli. It's the city memory. One room was equipped by our Greek friends, another room by our Bulgarian friends, another room by our friends from Montenegro. So this shows our coexistence in the past. We believe that these feelings of friendship will survive and will continue to live together. I would like to thank you all for being here. In the changing world, there is only one thing that doesn't change, and that is the principle that change is always there. That change could be positive or negative, but we are all there to brace that change altogether. These lands are inherited from our ancestors, but we are going to transfer it on to our children. So communication, transport, in many fields, I'm sure that we can produce many projects, and I'm very excited to carry out such projects together. Well, come to the land of happy people to share that happiness all together. Thank you.
İmamoğlu, the nicest sentence of today is that not only cold weather dominates Turkey coming from Balkans, but also lots of heritage, culture, and brotherhood. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue alphabetically with Kotor, but mistakenly, I interrupted the speech of Mr. Hasan Aziz. As I told before, I'm quite excited about Kırcaali. So sorry, sir, please complete your speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Уважаеми дами и господа, на днешния форум.
For me, it's very important to greet you. This forum has been organized to further improve the cooperation between local governments and will help us to address the challenges of today and help us with transforming our economies into green economies. Kırcaali, well, on behalf of the citizens of Kırcaali, I would like to greet you all. I would like to thank the mayor of Istanbul, Ekrem İmamoğlu, for inviting us here. I hope that this forum gave us the opportunity to become part of the Balkan cities network. Climate change is the greatest problem of today. It's not only a problem for big cities, but also a problem for small cities. In order to create a new economic model, it's at the same time an opportunity. So, EU cities would like to make all of the EU cities carbon neutral cities by 2040. In order to achieve this target, in order to make sure that these economies are competitive, that they use their resources effectively, it is only possible to achieve that if local governments join their efforts and implement the decisions taken. The Green Deal of the EU says that economic growth should be independent of the resources used, natural resources used, and that the development is achieved at the equal level, and that the social welfare of their citizens are achieved. Economic growth, sustainable industry, and competitive power, creating all of these are the required basic factors to be able to achieve all of these goals. Today here, as the representatives of local governments, we are going to work together, and I'm very happy to do that. Through a collaboration, the Balkan cities will enjoy a stable administration, and will also offer the opportunity to open new workplaces. We will also offer transportation means to the most remote areas. I hope that this summit will serve as a starting point and will continue as an ongoing Balkan cities network for the well-being of our citizens. So I would like to say that I hope this initiative led by Ekrem İmamoğlu continues and is organized every year. I wish a very successful and a very fruitful summit, and wish this to be a very auspicious summit for the future generations.
And Mayor Aziz. Now we will continue with Mayor of Kotor, one of the greatest places in Earth, personally. And Mr. Vladimir Jokic, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I would use the opportunity just to greet all of you, especially Mayor İmamoğlu, and to express my gratitude for organizing this event. Also, I would use the opportunity to speak on my native language and to express also gratitude for that opportunity today. Thank you. Poštovana
On behalf of the municipality of Kotor, I would like to thank you, as the moderator said. Kotor is one of the best places, and I agree with her. I would like to take the opportunity to give you information about our city, a few examples. We fulfilled all of the criteria of UNESCO. I know the history of our city, and we have to have a positive look into the future. Distinguished colleagues, and the mayor of Athens said that Europe sees us as their backyard. Well, we don't have much chances like this. Well, when we hear about the Balkan countries, it's seen as a land of wars and conflicts. But when we look at the history of the Balkans, the thing that we're going to see is that this is a region, and this region is in the world and in Europe. It's one of the ancient civilizations. We have the Roman, Ottoman, and Hellenic civilizations. These three civilizations were present both in the East and in the West. So I would like to say that the Balkans are the very essence and the spirit, not the backyard of Europe. Given our history, the history that we're talking about today should be a guide for all of us, because we are all sharing the same lands as the Balkans. And we should all work towards how we could change what's being said about us, how we could promote ourselves better. And we should also offer or help our citizens to have a better future. That's why summits like this one are very important. While governments, state leaders come together in summits, but the future of the politics is defined by the citizens. While mayors do represent the local citizens of those cities, and they should be taking active actions on the field. That's why this initiative is very important. This initiative is going to create very significant changes, and not only in the lives of our citizens, but also in the lives of the Balkan cities. I hope we will achieve it. Thank you very much for this organization.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jolic. As he said, Balkan is the essence of Europe, not the backyard. And I also want to thank all the mayors who value this network B40 for their speeches. Now we will continue with the mayor of Laktashi, with Miroslav Bojic. The floor is yours.
Uvaženi gradonačelnici balkanskih gradova,
distinguished Mayor of Istanbul, Ekrem İmamoğlu, distinguished guests, I'm proud to represent the Republic of Bosnia-Herzegovina on behalf of the citizens of the municipality of Laktashi. I would like to extend my thanks to Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu. Economic cooperation, innovation, environment, and climate change are important topics. He gave us the opportunity to discuss such important topics. B40 Balkan Cities Network was a great opportunity for us to participate in. Laktashi is in the northwest and is a town with 40,000 inhabitants. Communication, tourism, sports hub of Bosnia-Herzegovina. Mayor of Laktashi is the intersection point of important roads, and it is only 20 kilometers away from the border of the EU, and the international airport is only 3 kilometers. Laktashi hosts a very important commercial center in our municipality. There are important economic developments. Out of top 100 companies, 27 of them are based in Laktashi. For foreign investors, it's a very attractive area. There is a low level of investments, so it is a suitable place for investments. The municipality has natural resources. There are some historic monuments in Laktashi, but the springs, the thermal waters are the best known places in Laktashi. As well as the agricultural sector. Agriculture is the most advanced. Livestock, dairy, fruit, and vegetable farming offer great opportunities. We are aware of the importance of this summit. This is an important opportunity for us for economic development. We would like to exchange experiences with other cities. Through B40, there will be strong networks between our municipalities.
Lots of beauty, history, and common heritage, but also we share the realities of this century, for example, irregular migration. Your ideas are really important for us. The floor is yours, Mr. Stratis Kitelis.
Αξιότιμε Δήμαρχε της Κωνσταντινούπολης, κύριε Ημάμογλου.
I would like to greet you and thank you very much for hosting us here. The Patriarch, our religious father, has his home here in the city where we have historic ties with and emotional ties with. Thank you very much for your invitation. We are in the Balkan Cities Summit in the biggest city of Europe. Congratulations for this event. The Balkan region is a turbulent area, so we aim at peace as well as sustainable development with the final declaration that will come out of this meeting. We also would like this to be a step for environmental protection. This constitutes a problem for many of our societies, and we hope to discuss the issues of immigration, refugees, and COVID-19. Local governments need to take initiative in those areas, and I believe that this event will pave the way for such initiative. There are thousands of immigrants, and we are the entrance gate for them. We know why. As the Balkan neighbors, with regard to geopolitics, we need to own up to our future and our interests together. It depends on our people whether this will be auspicious or not. Distinguished mayors, we will be signing a declaration at the end of this event. Let's take this as a guide and let's create the Balkan Union in the medium term as a network of cities. We can only establish democracy through cooperation between our municipalities. We can bury the past disputes in the dark pages of history by acting together. In recent centuries, the people of our continent lived various realities. So when it comes to social, cultural, linguistic, religious, and economic features, the more we get to know each other better in terms of these characteristics, the better we can focus on our similarities and we can eliminate the differences, and we can contribute in a more determined fashion for stronger ties. We should be making sure that international law operates. That's why it's very important that our cities are brother cities, and this is the first step in this direction. We believe that war is the product of fantasy, and let's just act together with a constructive and friendly dialogue, and let's foreground democracy for our cities and for our people. And through economic and commercial relations, we will bring about progress and development. Today, our coasts are getting polluted, and we need common action to prevent that. Because of the change of climate, there may be worse results. That's why taking a step in this direction will be inevitable. Of course, for all this to be successful, the primary condition is the active participation of our young people. If we cannot make young people participate actively, then this will be a structure that is stillborn. That's why our goal is to activate communication between young people so that solidarity and tolerance can be established. A common identity, common values, common history, common culture. The Balkan identity is based around those values, so we should encourage young people to develop those values further, and we should equip them with the necessary tools to achieve this. With these thoughts, I hope that we will attain a better future together. And I invite you to support us so that the next summit is organized in Medellin.
Now we will continue with another place, another gem in the universe, Patras. Mayor of Patras, Mr. Kostas Peleditis, the floor is yours.
Κύριε Ημάμογλου, αγαπητοί δήμαρχοι, στέλνουμε τους ειλικρινείς μας χαιρετισμούς στους λαούς.
I would like to greet all the Balkan cities and people who are part of this meeting today. As of its first day, Patras municipality management has been on the side of the people. We took the needs of the people in the center as our way of management. With regard to the working class and people, we followed policies that will support their rights and struggles. And we also followed policies to fight against those who are against the people. We focus on activities with regard to unemployment in Greece. And from Patras to Athens, there was this 220-kilometer march. There was a march from Athens to Patras. We also offered social aid for the people in need. We have social policies in place. We actually focus on the needs of our people. That's what we're striving for in our municipality. And bourgeoisie and their plans with regard to the region, we condemn that. They're trying to redraw the borders with the blood of the people. This is the imperialist understanding, and in order to combat that, it's very important that people act together in solidarity, and we fight to achieve this. We have this anti-imperialist struggle in the center of our efforts. And the Balkan region is not just, the NATO is bringing death and bitterness to the region. That's why from Incirlik base, the nuclear weapons are in the, there is this fight so that those weapons are not brought to Araklı. The goal was not to leave these weapons in Turkey. We wanted all the regional people to be away from such a threat. There are the energy lines, the pipelines, there are competing plans with regard to those. But in fact, the main goal is the US NATO plans. There are these imperialist plans. There is the Russia and China competition, and the goal is to strengthen competition against them. So in every corner of the Balkan regions, there are the military bases that emerge like mushrooms, but our people will gain nothing out of such initiatives. And nowadays there is a threatening competition. We see the NATO practices. We are against those NATO practices in our region. This is concerning us because of war and poverty. A lot of people have been displaced. There are immigrants and refugees who have been torn away from their land because of those conflicts, and we try to support them. there is this damage to the flora and fauna of our regions, and the main reason behind that is the goals of monopolies and bosses. They don't take into account the life of people. They're focused on capital and gains. They do not see any barrier in front of them to achieve their own ends. So our delegation, within the framework of the summit in Istanbul, will present opinions with regard to all the issues. We're going to inform our people afterwards. As the municipality of Patra, we care about discussion. We care about sharing our opinions. In such meetings, we gain experience and we try to put this into use. However, allow me to tell one thing. There are major problems of people, and it's not enough to talk to solve these problems. It's not enough to make statements only. We should help them so that they come up with their own development methods, and we need to act together with them. Only then peace will dominate the region, and only then people will have prosperity in the Balkan region. So we're going to work with all our effort to serve that end. Finally, I would like to thank you very much. However, the final declaration, we will take that into account. There are some important issues in this text, and we have some differences of opinion. We will not be signing that declaration. I just wanted to underline that point.
Peleditis, for sharing your ideas and vision. Now we will continue with another capital city, Podgorica. Mayor of Podgorica, Ivan Vukovic, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and my fellow colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, let me begin by thanking Honorable Mayor İmamoğlu for bringing us together today and expressing condolences on behalf of the people of Podgorica to the families of those who died in a recent bus accident in Bulgaria. The title of this panel is Better Cooperation, Better Future, and the reasons for better cooperation are many. When saying that, I have in mind demographic trends. According to the United Nations, by the year of 2050, 68% of global population will live in cities, which by default makes people like us increasingly responsible for the future of our world. In addition to that, I have in mind climate change as the number one challenge of our generation, climate change that cities contribute the most, but also many socioeconomic challenges that we have the chance to witness every day in the cities that we're in charge of. Epidemiological situation as well as a very dire reality of our world for the last year and a half, but many political challenges as well, such as the rise of populism, nationalism, and illiberal practices that we need to stand up against. In addition to these global challenges, there's a very important regional aspect of our cooperation, which has to do with the turbulent political history of this region, and unfortunately, I would say still very, very complicated relations at a state level, which makes us obliged to set a good example and to prove that decent communication and good cooperation in this part of the world is possible. Ladies and gentlemen, local governments are closest to the citizens, and we know their needs best in the context of the aforementioned challenges, which is why, after all, what we do is so demanding and so difficult, but at the same time so beautiful and so fulfilling. So focusing on these needs, our cities, should create strategies for long-term, sustainable economic growth, taking into account the need of environmental protection, using modern technologies with the aim of creating a more humane living environment. So let us be partners on the path of democratic, green, smart, and just transformation of our cities and our part of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vukovic. Now we will continue with another woman in charge, Mayor of Pristina, Ms. Merita Maliki.
Thank you very much, but I have to correct you. I'm not the mayor of Pristina. I'm just representing the mayor of Pristina here today. I will continue in Albanian, if possible. Nderuar kryetari Imamoğlu.
Thank you very much for your invitation. Currently, the mayor is Mr. Spendati, and we would like to thank you for your invitation on behalf of our municipality. Pristina is the capital city of Kosovo. There are about 400 people living in the city. There is a huge opportunity because our mayor is one of the youngest leaders of the region, and that is very attractive for the young population. More than 70 people of our city is below the age of 25. There is a good nightlife, it's a safe city, it's possible to walk around the city safely. And like other cities, the municipality of Pristina developed a lot in the last 10 years. As I said, we have a population of 400,000 people right now. For a city with a small budget, this is a huge achievement. We tried to come up with a plan. We made an investment for a long-term development. We carried out some strategic work in a couple of areas. One is digital transformation. We would like to improve the lives of the people in Pristina and facilitate their lives through this digital transformation initiative. We also carried out work in different areas. Another issue is renewable energy. We have some major projects in that area. The Pristina municipality has some long-term investments. And we also focus on banking. There is some incentives provided by the development bank. So we are working on that area as well. We have a 12-year plan. But of course, we have several problems. So we would like to work with other cities, and we would like to learn from their practices and plans. At the same time, we are at the stage of implementing a green city plan. We're working to bring about sustainable change in this area. Like every big city, we have our own problems. With regard to the use of public spaces, we have certain plans in place. And again, with regard to waste, we have some issues. And one of the main issues in Pristina city is this issue of waste. So we actually have a compost project with regard to that, and we plan to continue with our projects, and perhaps we could collaborate or communicate with other cities. There is collaboration between the cities, and It's very important that we take concrete steps to solve the problems of our people. We are on the side of concrete projects. And the diplomacy between cities is an important working area where we can discuss concrete problems, where we can raise the quality of standards. So this will be a priority for us for the future. B40 Balkan Cities Network is a big opportunity for us to develop this diplomacy between the cities. We can take concrete steps for development of our cities. In 2022, there will be some cultural work going on in Pristina, and if you would like to participate in this project in Europe, you're all invited. It's going to take place in the Pristina municipality. I'd like to end my words here. Thank you very much once again for your invitation.
Thank you so much, dearest Merita Maliki. Now, Prizren, dearest Sevil Liman Kazazi will representing Prizren and also Turkish community in Prizren. The floor is yours.
Teşekkür ediyorum.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Distinguished Mayor of the Metropolitan City of Istanbul, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu, distinguished mayors coming from various cities of the Balkan region, distinguished Consulate of the Kosovo region in Istanbul, Ms. Suzan Kordoli, the distinguished President of Kosovo Solidarity Association, Ms. Gülen Aksu Türker, distinguished participants, cordial greetings to each and every one of you. We are the youngest country between you, and I represent the Pearl of Kosovo, Prizren. I am very proud to be part of this summit. I graduated from the Metropolitan Municipality of Istanbul, and I got my education here, and I'm very proud to serve my country with the education that I have. Therefore, I feel home. We have the brotherhood relations that go back to hundreds of years. It's very important to remember those ties and strengthen those ties and increase our collaboration. That's why we're gathered here. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to get to know each other better. We will be discussing the different issues, demands, and development in the different Balkan cities. Thank you very much for this opportunity. The municipality of Prizren is a developing municipality with many nations, religions, and languages. It is the historical and cultural capital of Kosovo. We are in collaboration with various municipalities across the world. We are focused on tourism and commerce, and we would like to develop in different industries as well as a city, and we're working in that direction. I listened to the distinguished mayor's presentation, and I heard that he got together with the mayors of different Balkan cities. In the coming days, we would be very glad to be hosting in our city, so I wanted to underline this as well. We have the most frequent visits to our city from Turkey. The main reason behind that is the Ottoman traces of our cultural and historical heritage. We're like a small city of Turkey. We have a lot of similarities. Finally, as a female representative who cares about gender equality, I would like to underline that there are very few female mayors in the Balkan region. So I would like to invite the mayors in this summit to open up more space for females in their administration. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you. Thank you very much, dear Sevil Liman Kazazi. We will be hearing Turkish from time to time. We don't want to put our translators in difficulty, but I can't help myself.
We're gonna hear lots of languages, which is the nicest part, I think, of this summit. So sometimes you're gonna hear some Turkish from me, but I'd like to thank our simultaneous interpreters for this wonderful job. Now I will continue with Pula. When I think about where can be the next B40 take place, I think Pula can be also a really nice spot. So Mayor Filip Zoricic, we are listening to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Dear Mr. İmamoğlu, dear colleagues and guests, at the beginning, let me just remind my colleagues from the former Yugoslavia that today is November 29. The day when Yugoslavia was born in 1943, it was a very important day. I think in this summit, half of cities are from former Yugoslavia. I'm grateful to be in Istanbul today and these days with my team from Pula, Croatia. Pula is the oldest Croatian city, multi-layered historical and multicultural, from Prague history through Venice, Austria, Italy to Yugoslavia, and modern Croatia, over 3,000 years old city. Industrial, tourist, and cultural center of the modern and the richest Croatian region. Last night, at the first Croatian gala dinner in Istanbul, Mayor İmamoğlu said that this is our century, that this is the century of the cities. In order to build this century, to make it better, in this summit we will speak about our cooperation for better economic, for culture, for better education. But I think first of all we need to speak about the peace in this area. As a historian, I need to say that Balkan area last 100 years, historians said it's a barrel of gunpowder. And I think in this summit we need to delete this sentence. And I think this summit is a chance. And I think this summit is a start for a peace in this area. You know, Croatia is part of Balkan, but also we are on the border of the Balkan and Western Europe. And also we are completely on a Mediterranean. So in that context of Europe and Balkan and Mediterranean, I think this is our opportunity. I think this is a chance for our generation to make a better world for next generations, for our kids. So please, let's start. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Zoricic. Now we will continue with Sarajevo. We can tell a lot about Sarajevo. Every single color of life, every emotion that humanity faced during those years. I would like to give the floor to Mayor of Sarajevo, Ms. Benjamina Karic.
Dear Mayor, Mr. İmamoğlu, distinguished participants of the Balkan Cities Network meeting, and I would say dear friends, please allow me to greet you warmly on behalf of the city of Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and my own behalf. It's my great honor and pleasure to participate at today's first B40 Balkan Cities Network meeting, which brought together an impressive number of mayors and representatives of the cities from the Balkan region. Our cities are miles away, but we are extremely close because we share common goals and visions. I'm convinced that in international relations, the diplomacy of the cities is more.
We have the same visions, although our cities are kilometers apart. And in
cooperation between countries is promoted with the aim of a mutual prosperity. In that regard, I would like to welcome this initiative for the establishing of B40 Balkan Cities Network, because I'm sure that through this regional network, we will be able to work together even more and to strengthen mutual cooperation and dialogue between cities, to detect common problems, to exchange examples of best practice, and to find the best solution for our cities, regardless of geographical distance. Connecting our cities is crucial, having in mind that pandemics has significantly slowed us down and reduced our direct communications. I believe that our participation in today's meeting will have a positive impact on our cities and will be used as an opportunity for an open and constructive dialogue on how to make the most of the role of cities in creating the world a safer place. The city of Sarajevo will be fully committed to actively cooperate with other cities in the different fields. I especially welcome the fact that this summit is taking place at the initiative of the city of Istanbul, as a city of incredible energy and a charming, unrevealed way of communicating with the world. Thank you, dear Mayor Mr. Imamoglu. Istanbul and Sarajevo are two cities that are deeply connected. Our cooperation has never been absent, neither in good or in the bad moments. We greatly appreciate everything you have done for us. I would like to thank the city of Istanbul as a host of today's meeting for providing us with the possibility to meet each other and to exchange ideas on establishing the Balkan Cities Network in the challenging times that we are facing. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mayor Benjamina Karic. So now on, we will continue with one woman leader to create better future, with another woman leader who will create a better future for all of us, Mayor of Skopje, Daniela Arsovska.
Thank you. Well, first of all, please allow me to congratulate Mayor İmamoğlu for this wonderful opportunity, and I think this is a very important and strategic initiative which will give us all the chance to start cooperating better and just to show not only that we're good in cooperation, but also that we're good in friendship amongst our cities. Би сакала да се заблагодарам на оваа прилика која што ја имаме денеска да видиме сите.
First of all, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to be able to come together here. Will be a great chance for us, gathering as an initiative, and through the initiative of the 40 cities who are present here, I believe we will include the entire Balkan region in the future. Today, we found this opportunity in Istanbul, and this will give us the chance to talk about how diverse our cities are, while we also discover the things that connect us. Now, green economy, green cities, digitalization are all components of our city, and we would all want our citizens to be part of a project like this. But also economic cooperation between our cities is what will truly unite us. We would like to enable our citizens to live in better developed cities, and this initiative is very important, and it is for the first time that Balkan cities are gathered together on a single platform. And I believe that this initiative will continue in the future years, and we will accomplish much more than that has ever been accomplished across the Balkans. And one point that is very important for us is to collaborate and exchange experiences which will help develop our citizens. And today in Istanbul, we will be building bridges of friendship and unity. And as the citizens of the EU and the Balkans, I believe we will demonstrate how successful we are in this area.
To build bridges and to help us all unite into a better Balkan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Arsovska. Now we will continue with my dearest neighbor during this network and panel, Mayor of Split, Mr. Ivica Puljak. The floor is yours, sir. Yes.
Thank you. So, dear Mayor İmamoğlu, dear colleagues, mayors, dear delegates, ladies and gentlemen, let me first express my deepest gratitude and warmest thanks to the Mayor İmamoğlu for initiating the Balkan City Network and hosting this great event. Your hospitality is so great that the next host city will have a very hard task. I'm very freshly elected mayor since June this year. And when you start, as you all know, there are so many problems every single day. Nice things are a bit rare events. And this is why when this initiative came, so positive and so clear, that I, as all of you, accepted it with a great joy, and I'm really looking forward to work together. I'm a scientist, more precisely physicist, particle and astroparticle physicist. Actually, it is very difficult to admit today I'm not scientist anymore, I'm politician. But my scientific past is so strong that my address will be maybe more scientific than political. We all know that we had a complicated and turbulent past. Let's take my city of Split and list the kingdoms, countries, empires that we belong to. So we started as a Greek settlement since 2,000 years, then continued with the Roman Empire for centuries, then came Avars, Slavs, Byzantines. Shortly we had a kingdom of Dalmatia, then kingdom of Croatia, then Venetia for many centuries. We were surrounded by Ottoman Empire, then we were part of French Empire, Austrian Empire, even Austrian-Hungarian Empire. Then kingdom of Serbians, Croats, and Slovenians, renamed to Yugoslavia, then Italy, Croatia, Germany, Socialistic Federated Republic of Yugoslavia, again, and then finally Croatia. So this is just to show you how the turbulent past we had, but all together. And of course, now we are all part of European Union. But when we think about these 2,000 years of our common past, we usually concentrate on events which were not very pleasant. But in all the troubles our predecessors had, they had many, many more nice and pleasant events. If we would make statistics, I'm sure that the results goes in the favor of these nice events. People were living with each other. They married across nations. They raised their families. They were moving from place to place. They connected. They collaborated. They simply lived together. And at the end, what remains of our common and turbulent past is actually so positive. We have similar languages. When I walk through Istanbul, there are so many words that I can understand. We have common tradition, we shared our gastronomy, we have interleaved and inseparable cultures. And maybe the most important, we understand each other, and this is one of the reasons why we are here today. I will say something that might seem strange to all of you, but we live in the best of all times. There have never been better on earth than today. Since 200 years, the world has made a spectacular progress in every measure of the human well-being. If you follow the evolution of the world, we have a steady decline of the extreme poverty, child mortality, illiteracy, violence, and any other bad behavior of events that we had in turbulent past. And the good news is it will continue like that. The future will be even better. The world will continue to improve, and if it goes well, in 50 to 100 years from now, we will live in the world without extreme poverty, without violence, where all people will be literate, will live healthier, longer, and happier lives and enjoy prosperity. We will live in the world dreamt by all the poets in the human history. And of course, it will not happen automatically. We will create such a world. And one of the most important instruments we have is cooperation and collaboration. Of course, the world is not without challenges. We live in one of these today. But thanks to the science and knowledge, we are dealing with the pandemics in the best possible way. The other challenge is connected with the climate changes, and this is a real and a huge problem. But maybe the most important challenge, the most important in the history of humankind, is how we will connect and live with the technology. The words like artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, biotechnology, quantum computing, blockchain technology will mark our near future and the future of the entire humankind, will depend on how we will respond to the basic ethical and moral dilemmas which are coming from our integration with the technology. The 21st century will not only be the century of the knowledge, it will be the century of science. The worldview of the modern human is based on science, reason, and humanity, and that is the reason why the world will continue to progress. I'm fully confident that we will succeed. The main reason in my confidence is the new generation, the generation which is coming. Our young generation, they are better humans than we are. They are better connected, they are more empathic, they are willing to work together, they are more sensitive to the environment and fully immersed in the modern technology. And all that is a great news for all of us, and we have to be proud because we raised that generation. And now it's time to give them all the instruments and develop even better worlds. And above all, we have to give them the freedom to create. And let me try to predict the future along the messages of my fellow colleagues, mayors, that were talking before me. This event today will be marked as one of the most important milestones for the future of the Balkans and Europe. So, Mr. Mayor İmamoğlu, thank you again for your vision and this initiative.
Mayor Polyak, thank you so much for your speech and your vision. Now we will continue with another Turkish city, Tekirdağ. As I told before, sometimes during my speech you're gonna hear some Turkish as well. Değerli misafirler, şimdi bir
Distinguished guests, we will continue with another city from Turkey, Tekirdağ, and I believe it is a city where we really see the joy of living life, and I believe our guests will witness this as well.
Where you can feel all the joy of living and feeling alive also. Now we will listen to the mayor of Tekirdağ, Mr. Kadir Albayrak.
Teşekkür ederim.
Thank you very much, distinguished guests. I would like to welcome you all, and I am very happy to be here at this meaningful meeting organized in Istanbul, the cradle of civilizations. Since the ancient eras, the Balkan cities, geographically, culturally, socially, economically, are tied to one another. Our relationships and collaboration needs to develop because this empowers us more. So seizing the opportunities we have and adding momentum to the development of our cities and building a contemporary and happy future is a historical responsibility for us. Tekirdağ is at the center of Eastern Thrace, and it has been a very important point, an interaction center throughout all the migrations that took place in history. And archaic cities, Istanbul and Rome, were tied with the Ignatia path, and Tekirdağ was on this path. And Tekirdağ has witnessed all the migrations from the Balkans to Anatolia and vice versa. And of course, in our relationship with our neighboring Balkan countries, these citizens, these migrants, have been an important bridge for us. And Tekirdağ is also the door that opens to Europe from Turkey. We have many big multinationals investing in our area. We have 150,000 employees who work in 13 organized industrial areas, and we are working in agriculture, animal husbandry. We have a lot of logistics investments, and we also have a university. So we provide a lot of opportunities for investors. And as the Tekirdağ Metropolitan Municipality, we are working towards the development of our city, and we are contributing to our national economy. And besides my task as the mayor of Tekirdağ, I am also the president of the Municipalities Union of Thrace. Almost all of the municipalities in the region are members of our union, and we have made a lot of way in international communications with our union as well. And we also work on creating a tourism inventory, and we try to create new touristic routes in our region, because our local governments have contributed to tourism in very important ways, and we will further diversify the options in this area with our activities in the union. And this activity that we are creating today will further strengthen our collaboration and will broaden our horizons for further collaboration in the area of climate, in the area of smart cities and digital transformation, and in local democracy. We are putting a lot of efforts. And also, when we look at our neighboring Balkan countries and our sister Balkan cities, we have relationships that go way back. And we, as the Thrace Union of Municipalities, have accelerated our activities, and we organized our workshop of Balkan local governments last year, and I believe that the B40 Balkan Cities Network will also be a turning point in all of our activities in this regard. And the municipality of Tekirdağ is ready to mobilize in every possible way to contribute to such activities, and it is very important that creating the Balkan department within our party is also contributing to these efforts. With the efforts of Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, the leader of the Republican People's Party, we have contributed to these relationships by creating the Balkan desk within our party. And I would like to thank the mayor of Istanbul, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu, for this initiative. And I hope this meeting will further enhance our collaboration, and I hope it will be auspicious for all of our cities and countries. Thank you.
We also thank Mayor Albayrak for his speech and contributions. Dear guests, our next mayor actually has no need for any introduction, because no need to tell how important Thessaloniki for us, for Turkish community, as our great leader, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, is born there, and it's a really important hometown for every one of us. So now we're gonna listen great contributions from the mayor of Thessaloniki, from Mr. Konstantinos Zervas.
Thank you so much, dear mayors from all corners of the Balkans, dear colleagues, dear friends. Someone once wrote that if mayors ruled the world would be a better place. And that is not because we mayors are better than others, which I personally strongly believe, but because we are committed to finding quick and effective solutions to citizens' problems. And first of all, I would like to thank you, Mr. İmamoğlu, my friend Ekrem, for your hospitality and for organizing this so promising summit in your city that, along with my city, the city of Thessaloniki, share a parallel course over the dozens of centuries. A city with 23 centuries of history that has always been an urban center. a city with a large and strong port on the Mediterranean Sea, with a huge cultural footprint, with architectural monuments from different periods, holding an important geographical position in the Balkans and equally important commercial, business, educational activities, a city that offers a unique way of life, a city full of young people, full of students. But, dear colleagues, we have today a historic opportunity to move from the so-called Balkan problems to Balkan solutions. And how can we make that? Through cooperations, through sharing experiences, through practices, good practices, through common understanding. The Balkan region is an area rich in history, not always peaceful. But today, we're confronted with new challenges. The Balkan region has the opportunity to bridge this gap through collaboration. The challenges that we all face are specific, I believe are common. Traffic, transportation, mobility, lots of cars so far. We need new means of public transportation, environmentally more friendly. People don't trust public means of transportation through the pandemic. We have to move on infrastructure. Our city, Thessaloniki, has a new airport. We have a lot of investments in our port, in our hotels, and soon a very modern new metro, a new subway. We try to offer few spaces, free spaces. There is a low availability of this in our country. We confront this urbanization. We create new parks. We renovate new neighborhoods, old neighborhoods, where this is possible. A lot of colleagues refer to waste management, recycling, circular economy, green economy. We are the first city in Greece in recycling, about 26%, but we are still far behind from our goal for 2030, for 2050. And finally, our problem, our major problem, urbanization and overpopulation. I believe you, Ekrem, face this problem really hard. This is a global problem, a lot of global problems, but we are here today. It is in our hands to achieve common goals, in the Balkans. We have to do it with our goal for peace, for economic development, for cooperation, for common policies, for our common issues on our common problems. Our cities can and should cooperate, and through the answers we give to these challenges, we are going to shape the new future of Europe, the new future of Balkans. And here and today, my friend Ekrem, we can make the difference, and we can write a new chapter for our cities, for our countries, for our Europe, for our history. Thank you.
Mayor Zarvas, thank you so much for your speech and contributions. Now, amongst the participating mayors, last but obviously not least, we will listen the Mayor of Tirana, Mr. Erion Veliay.
Thank you so much, Duygu. It's always difficult to speak after these wonderful mayors and before lunch. So I will try to keep the last barrier to lunch as easy as possible. So I decided to skip my talk and maybe just do a roundup of the discussions that we had. But Ekrem, from the moment we met in July and you spoke of this vision, I am very impressed and how efficient your team has been, Nejat and everybody else, and your leadership in bringing this team together. I've been in this business for a while and no one has achieved this to date. So I really hope this is, like they say in Casablanca, the beginning of a beautiful friendship amongst us. And I will not compete about which city hosts it next. I'm happy to be in Athens every time to see Costa, because I don't want to start the next Balkan War. So, you know, we will maybe use a rotation. I'll be happy to be the next one in line. But jokes aside, I wanted to talk a bit about what Costa mentioned, that we really are late into the party. We see how US mayors are organized, the Euro cities, the ICLE, the C40. So I really think it's about time. And I think we've spent so much time, and it's perfectly fine to get ideas and to get concepts from mayors far away. And we've looked at the bus rapid transit in Bogota. But Istanbul, next door, has a great bus rapid transit with dedicated lanes, and other cities in the region are doing the same. We're looking at innovation in Seoul and in Korea and in other countries in Far East Asia. And many of the innovators in the city, we just hosted a Balkan-wide hackathon for young kids trying to find city solutions, applications and algorithms that can make trash pickup or parking much easier. So I really think, although late to the party, I think we can really make a difference. And if there will be a secretariat to get some of the ideas together and really push some of this stuff, this would be fantastic. I think, again, I always speak on Costa because he's my closest friend here, but I fully agree on the European agenda, on the European vision. But if I am allowed a little criticism, I was 23 in 2003 when the Thessaloniki summit happened, right? And the big vision was that within our youth years, we will all be part of Europe. And I have to say that half of the members here, of the mayors, represent cities that, you know, thought 2003 was a great year and the future was very close. There was this great famous movie, and I was with Ivan in Podgorica this weekend, called Return to the Future. My favorite movie when I was growing up in communist Albania, and you can see other movies. But in the movie that was shown in the 80s, the future was 2015. So the future was already 6 years ago. So I really think that while we keep this European perspective alive, I think it's really important not to lose time waiting for Godot. Godot may come late or never come, but in the meantime, let's get busy doing something. And we can build our mini Europe here. In a lot of our population's mindset, Europe means freedom to move, clean cities, buses showing up on time, getting rid of trash, going to a school that everybody recognizes the degree. So if we get going on some of these projects, it will feel like Europe, as it already does in most of our cities, despite the full membership. I was going around and I was telling my other friend Costa that, you know, there are sister cities with Durrës, and we're sister cities with Skopje. So the Balkans for too long has been like this dysfunctional family, and finally someone, Ekrem, thank you, had to bring all the family members together so everybody sort of meets the brothers and the sisters, and we are under this umbrella. So we don't have to be the dysfunctional family. And for too long, the Old Testament of an eye for an eye pretty much got all of us blind. You know, who invaded who, you know, who's the neighbor that wants to get your land. And cities have the freedom to work without this baggage from the past. I mean, no one disputes the city flags that we are all carrying here, because if they were disputing them, we would not have them on the table. But there are flags and nations that are disputed. No one is disputing city borders. We pretty much know how much surface we run, but people are disputing country borders. No one is disputing city names. They are what they are. Well, there's always negotiations about what countries are called. So in that sense, I think we have the agility of the speedboat and not the 18-wheeler, not the oil tanker, to really move fast and to make sure that a lot of the baggage from the past does not hinder collaboration amongst us. Now, you know, I think it's a great moment to counter Churchill, who said that we produce a lot more history than we can consume. I think we really should produce the history that we actually consume. And from what I heard from everybody in the table, they were consuming these histories. They were consuming the history of the green transport, the history of getting rid of trash, the history of being progressive, multi-ethnic, multi-religious cities. And sometimes we forget that this is one of the most unique regions in the world where Asia and Europe meets, where Christianity meets Islam, where even within religion, Orthodoxy meets Catholicism. And I think if we were to rebrand ourselves, not as a place of crisis, but as a place of opportunities. And I think we all have an image problem. You know, when people say Balkanization, the tweet that got the most retweets during the uprising in the US Congress was the Balkanization of the United States. So now we need to rehabilitate that term. I remember growing up, to use the word in post-communist Albania, volunteer or cooperative, they were bad words. So you have to say, no, volunteer is not a bad word. Everybody volunteers to pick up trash or help the elderly or the poor. So now we need to rehabilitate the term Balkanization. And the fact that in the worst day in modern US history, Balkanization was used as a way to illustrate the chaos that happened in that uprising, I think goes to show that our image has to change. And how do we rehabilitate Balkanization? But showing that now and onwards, it means cooperation. It means getting stuff done together. It means pushing each other up and making sure that we share all this innovation. And I think we have a fantastic opportunity to turn the metaphor around from being a powder keg, an explosive opportunity, to being a power keg. We really have an opportunity to be a power keg. And if we work together, I think we have a strength that is incomparable to each of our individual strengths and reputation. So to conclude, I think in this image change, we need to do what Ataturk said. You know, when they asked him what is the biggest battle, and they were expecting that Ataturk would respond about one certain battle that was really bloody and difficult. And his answer was, the biggest battle of my life has been the battle against ignorance. Ignorance. And I think we have a weapon to use in our cities against ignorance, against people thinking that the neighbor is the enemy and their religion is or their color of skin or their language is an opportunity to score and settle scores from the past. And if we all engage in this battle against ignorance, we will have a fantastic future ahead of us. And my last remark, although I will not compete for who hosts next the forum, I will invite all of you to Tirana next year, as we are European youth capital. And I think if we can have a version of the summit for our young people in our cities, and get them this mindset early on, get young people to understand that doing business, sharing, connecting, networking together is the future, I think we would have done a great service to this region. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for having us.
Mayor Veli, I also want to thank you for pronouncing my name so correctly, because it took me ages to try to pronounce your name. So sorry for any mispronunciation. And I also want to thank you for reminding us about the lunch, because we are all getting hungry, I know that. But we also, in this room, have a huge history about the cuisine. Which recipe belongs to which country, kind of debate that we can continue like ages and ages. But what I suggest is that let's taste the food, enjoy the food all together, and then debate about more important things. Ladies and gentlemen, to finalize this round, I want to give the floor once again, Honorable Mayor of Istanbul, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu.
Thank you, everybody. Eryan said, is this a disadvantage or advantage, the speech of last mayor? But I understood that he used all advantages in his speech. And çok değerli.
The first round was a great and very nice round. And I believe that this is a very effective encounter. We received very good invitations. Although we speak many different languages, we have the unity of the language of hearts. We feel the same things. And we talk about thinking about people first, the environment first, nature first. Yes, some said talking is not sufficient. We should move on to proceed to action. So it's our mutual responsibility to take action. While I kept hearing from all speakers the word Europe. we felt that Europe would be a better place altogether. A shared future of Europe is our joint desire. Let's express it very clearly here. Well, there's the reality, there's the fact that, as Kostas, my friend, said, some promises are given but not kept. We, as the new generation administrators, we will overcome all of these obstacles, and our approach is to catch today and the future. Well, I'd like to say that I did receive great invitations. I'm looking forward to meeting the mayors of those cities. I'm very happy to have received these invitations. We will be paying visits to one another. It's not only for the purpose of further strengthening B40, but also we will be coming together to further strengthen the ties. This is very important for me. Well, this round has shown us that my friend Kostas will host this summit in Athens next year, and other cities in the upcoming years would like to be considered as a candidate for future summits. So we will make sure that B40 continues. I'm going to now turn to Erion and say I believe the rehabilitation of the term Balkanization is a very good approach. So we have to have a mindset and a spirit that is nice, that is positive. All different languages and religions, different ways of living will be brought together, and we are together with mayors who are trying to make this possible. This is very pleasing. I hope that we will achieve this rehabilitation very fast, and I feel it right now.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Honorable Mayor, Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu. Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick note. Let me remind that on the same floor, the fair stands will be waiting for you, which has been prepared to develop cooperation areas among the participant cities of B40. And afternoon at 2 o'clock, we will have the mayor's discussion. Enjoy your lunch, please.